like to welcome Haran from Sri Rajarajeswari Devi, Sri Vidya Temple Society, who is otherwise known as Sri Chaitanyananda Saraswathi. Today we'll be talking about the Rasi Mandala Puja that will be happening on May 27th, 2023. Aiya, what is a Rasi Mandala Puja?
Namaskaram to everyone. In Sri Vidya, which for all practical purposes is a perfectly private and individual method of worship. The main mantra for this puja, for this method of worship, is contained in one of the many different Sri Vidya mantras. The Yantra is called the Sri Yantra, Chakra Raja, Sri Yantram, Sri Chakram, etc. Now, the Sri Chakra and the Sri Yantra, or the Rasi Mandala, I will show you that they are one and the same. In Sri Vidya, which is one of the cardinal texts for Sri Vidya Pujas and Sri Vidya Upasana, there is a sloka that says, Ganesha Graha Nakshatra Yoginim Rasi Rupinim Devim Mantramayim Naumi Matrika Pita Rupinim. Ganesha Graha Nakshatra Yoginim. Ganesha. In Mahaganapati, there are 51 different varieties. In all of them, the Devis is the life force. Graha, 9 planets. Nakshatra, 27 nakshatras, and each containing 4 quarters, making a total of 108 quarters of all the nakshatras in the Rasi Mandalam. Yogini, Maha Sadushakti Koti Yogini Ganasevida is what the Lalita Sahasranamam says about this. There are 64 crore Ganas and Yoginis in the Sri Yantra. All of them are inside the mother. That's the mother's body. Plus the Ganesha and the Grahas and the Nakshatras. The 12 Rasis. Mantra Mayim, total number of mantras is said to be 7 crore mantras. And the life form of any mantra, for any deity, is the mother, is Rajarajeswari, the Devi. Matrika Pita Rupinim, there are 51 locations on the Indian subcontinent, some of them outside India now. There the Devi's parts of her body fell when Mahavishnu cut her body into pieces during the time of Daksha. So these are called Shaktipitas. In all of them, the life force is the mother. Now, what we have done in the Sri Vidya Temple here, we wanted to mitigate, we wanted to intercede on behalf of some or many of the devotees who come to the temple, who come and ask the people who are doing puja, I am undergoing 7.5 Sade Sani, or 7.5 years of Saneshwara, Saturn. I have Rahu in my Janmam, in my own Rasi I have Rahu. I am suffering. Is there any way you can mitigate this? Now, one has to realize that the Devi has created the 9 planets and the constellations just for this purpose, so that you can work your way through prarabdha karma that you have brought upon yourself, that you have brought with you from thousands and thousands of previous births. So the puja that we are going to perform here is the technique of how we can unite each person's karma. What we have done in the Sri Vidya Temple is we have united the Rasi Mandalam with the Sri Chakram. So anybody who knows a little about Sri Vidya, when they look at the Mandalam that we have created, will know that it indeed is a Sri Chakram. Now, inside the Sri Chakram, first of all, you have to worship the 4 entrances of the Sri Yantra or the Rasi Mandala. Traditionally, the belief in our faith is that 8 directional elephants and their spouses and retinue are holding up the universe. They are called Ashta Dik Gajas. Now, when this mandala is placed, it is impossible for one to reach the insides of the yantra while standing outside it and doing puja. Therefore, the only alternative is to mount the yantra and do the puja from inside to the various deities. There are 28 different deities inside this mandala that we have created. They are all represented by Panchaloka Vigrahas, 16-inch Vigrahas that have been specially made and brought over from India. Now, in the beginning of the puja, the first puja is to show respect to the 4 entrances of the Sri Yantra. In the eastern entrance is Rigveda, protected by Pratyangara Devi. Southern entrance is Yajurveda, and it is protected by Sulini Durga. Western entrance is Samavedam, and it is protected by Sudarshana and Sudarshana Narasimha. Northern entrance is Adharvana Veda, protected by Saraveshwara. Each of them will have their own kalasam. I will explain a little bit in detail about the kalasams and how they work. Now, after we have done the puja to these entrances, we then move on to pay our respects to the elephants. I have been to many temples and I have never seen anybody perform or give them a place of pride of place in any of their worships. The elephants are always overlooked. There are specific pujas for each of the pair of elephants that are in the 8 cardinal directions. So that's the second puja that we will be doing. And I might add, because of the immensity of the yantra, it is also not possible for one person to be performing the puja alone. Various senior Sri Vidya Upasakas will be doing portions of the puja. Different sections of the puja will be done by them. Now, because it is so big and you have to mount the yantra, you have to prepare yourself by performing the preliminary pujas before you can climb onto the yantra. In front of the 4 entrances, you will find 4 Nandis and Balipitams. The Nandi is there to protect the uninitiated from entering the yantra. After you perform the preliminary pujas for the Gajas, now you can request permission, worship Nandi. In any entrance you want to climb into the yantra, you can use it, ask Nandi's permission and then get onto the yantra. Now you are on top of the yantra. In the Sri Chakram, there are 4 corners and the 4 corners have deities. Nairidecha Ganechanam. In the southwest is Ganapati. Suryam Vaiva Evacha. Northwestern corner is Surya, the source of all the energy that we find on this planet. whether it is energy for thinking, energy for looking at something, hearing, tasting, speaking, all of these energies are from the sun. Whether you're using gasoline or electricity or diesel in your car or vehicle or any other machinery, that energy also has come from the sun. So the sun is given a place of pride of place. In the northeast, Ishanye Vishnu, in the northeast corner is Mahavishnu, the protector of the universe. Agneya Shivam, in the southeastern corner is Shiva, who is the one who reabsorbs the universe after it has run its course. In the center is Devi. This formation is always called Shakti Panchayatanam. So the corner deities have to be worshipped next. Once the corner deities have to be, after they are worshipped, there is a line in the Lalita Sahasranama, Maha Sadishashti Koti Yogini Ganasevida. That means 64 crore yoginis and ganas are sitting and worshipping her. You know that they are all inside the mother's body. They are represented on this mandalam that we have created by right-handed conches. These right-handed conches have been, they are very rare. For every 100,000 left-handed ones, you will find one right-handed conch. So 64 pairs of these conches filled with the required liquids will be worshipped by Swasinis, who are also going to be present on that day. Then, now we are prepared to move inside. The next layer will be the 10 directional deities that are guarding the 10 directions. Indra, Agni, Yama, Nairudi, Varuna, Vayu, Kubera, Soma, Ishanya, Brahma and Vishnu. They will be worshipped next. Now each of these murtis, each of them have a Pancharoga statue which is about 16 inch high and it's been made out of bronze and they are brought here. And there will be a Kalasa Stavanam, a Kalasam, a pot of Amritam plus the Murti. So all these deities and the Kalasams, whatever Kalasams that are used in this puja are available for sponsorship. Please remember this. I will be talking about the Kalasams a little later. After this Digdevata Puja, now we are ready to tackle the planets. On that day, the planetary positions over Rochester will be reflected and each of their positions will be very carefully calculated and placed. Once they are placed there, they also have a Vigraham, Patini, Putra, Parivara, Ayuda, Vahana, Dhanya, Mandala, Ratna Samedam. All of these things. Patini is wife, Putra children. Patini, Putra, Ayuda, the weapons that they carry. Vahanam, vehicle. Dhanya, the pulse that is associated with them. And Mandalam, they stand on a particular shape of a mandala that is also there, and the gemstone that is associated with them. All these will be reflected there in the murtis. These also are available for sponsorship, remember this. The next layer are the 108 quarters of the 27 nakshatras, the constellations. They will be worshipped. And finally, in the middle, the Devi will be worshipped, and after that, prasada distribution will take place. This, in fact, in a nutshell, is the Rasi Mandala Puja.
How does one achieve the desired relief from negative planetary placements?
In the Rasi Mandala Puja, the main vehicle that we'll be using to mitigate the negative effects of the planetary and constellations the way they are in your horoscope. Before I go further, I need to tell you something, that this is a generalization. It has been our experience that people who have sponsored in the last 6 years that we have conducted this puja, they have reported back to us that their problems were greatly diminished after they did this. So the main vehicle for this is the kalasam, the pot. Now, I have to explain to you a little bit about these pots because this is very important. This is the way we are able to achieve the relief from these planets. The metals that are used in our temple: swarnam, gold; rajatam, silver; tamram, copper; panchalokam, vangalam, it's called, bronze; and earthenware pot. Now it is important for one to clean the pots outside. On the outside, it is more important to clean the interior of the kalasam. Because the moment you clean, for instance, a copper vessel or a brass vessel and leave it exposed, in a few days, the moisture content in the atmosphere and the oxygen in the atmosphere will react, and a layer of oxide is formed on the surface of the vessel and on the inside of the vessel. So when you clean the inside of the vessel and the outside of the vessel, it is important. Outside, of course, is for decorative purposes. It will look neater and cleaner. Inside you won't see, but that's the most important part that needs to be cleaned. Now, we first of all do what is called nadi sandanam. That means wrapping of the kalasam with cotton thread, 3-layered cotton thread, Tripundara nool it's called. Many temples I go to, I see them wrapping the kalasams, perhaps not the required number of times, many times, and it is done with nylon thread. That is not acceptable. It will not transmit the energy. And in many temples I have seen stainless steel pots and vessels being used. It should not be used under any circumstances. Especially in Pitru Pujas, you cannot use stainless steel. If you use stainless steel, the ritual, the effects of the ritual will be cancelled. You will get zilch, zero. So we are careful not to use any of those steel vessels or steel implements in our temple. Now the Nadi Sandanam, you have to, while chanting the Mula Mantra, the wrapping of the kalasams with the thread, at least 72 rounds minimum. This is to reflect the 72,000 nerve endings on the surface area of the body. And the final length of it is put inside the kalasam. And inside the kalasam that we use is water, of course. It is filled with water. There are things like raw camphor, cloves, cardamoms, javadu, saffron, arakaja, turmeric. These things are added inside. The raw camphor is added mainly because it is a preservative. We have collected from Pondicherry all the way to Chennai, in the jungles there, carefully selected the samitu, that is the prescribed the plant from each of the 27 constellations. Whether it is the root, the bark, the fruit, the seed, or the wood, or the leaves or the inflorescence of this particular plant has to be used, we have chosen that particular unit from the tree and made them into a powder and preserved them in the temple. So all 27 nakshatras are covered. And once these raw camphor and cloves and things like that are added and now placed in the water, along with 2 rudrakshas, a silver coin and a copper coin. Now what you have essentially created is an electrolyte inside the water. And mantras, when they are chanted at D sharp, 17,500 kilocycles a second, which you will be witnessing that day, the absorption of the mantric sounds, the vibrations of the mantras is enhanced and catalyzed. And this water inside the kalasam, the amritam inside the kalasam will greedily assimilate and absorb the mantras and create the vibrations inside. Besides, from the sides of the interior sides of the kalasam or the vessel, migration of ions will take place, and this is called oligodynamic effect. Each of these, along with the water, all these things are now placed inside the kalasams, and there are 28 murtis inside the mandala, plus as many nakshatra kalasas, navagraha kalasas, yogini kalasas are there. All of them are available for sponsorship. Half of it at the end of the puja will be used for abhishekam to the Devi, and the other half is given to you. You take it home, drink a little bit of it, and pour the rest of it on your head and bathe. And the mantras will go inside you through your skin. This is how the effect of the planetary alignments are taken care of.
What are different aspects of the Rasi Mandala Puja?
If you sponsor the pujas, basic sponsorship is a thread that will be worshipped and will contain the mantras inside them. A Navagraha Mala, that is the 9 planets represented by their gemstones, a garland will be provided. They are not the cheap ones that you go and buy off of any store. These are special ordered and made for the temple. And along with this, Navagraha Yantras made of bronze will be worshipped and given to the devotees. They don't contain any bijaksharas. You can fearlessly take them home without any anxiety and place them in your shrine room. The effect will be felt for a long, long time. Then there is something called Kubera Padi. Padi in English is a measure. It's made of brass, and inside it is filled with akshatas, turmeric and ghee infused rice, which is traditionally held to contain the essence of Lakshmi. And along with it, a coin of Kubera and Lakshmi will be placed there. These Kubera Padis will be worshipped with Lakshmi Puja and given to you. You can take them home and place them in your shrine room. After about a month or 2 months, as the case may be, you must cook and eat that rice. And then fill it again with akshatas and keep it. And this practice should follow every month or whichever is convenient for you. The next one, everybody will be given a set of 8 containers that will have pepper and Himalayan salt in it. Everybody knows that the salt that we buy from the stores is bleached. It has hardly any nutrients in it. The Himalayan salt, many of you should know that the Himalayas was under the water, under the sea at one time, and deposits of salt are inside the mountains, and that has been mined. They contain 88 essential minerals in different proportions that are absolutely needed for the human body. And the Shastras tell you that salt is the repository or the abode of Mahalakshmi, the goddess of wealth. The pepper that is kept in the vessel represents Kubera, along with a coin, like I told you, of Mahalakshmi and Kubera. A set of 8 will be sponsored by you, and when it is given to you, take it home and place it where 2 walls come together, a corner, approximately in the 8 cardinal directions, with the vessel open. Leave it there for 6 months and observe how the financial situation in the house has improved over that 6 months. It's very effective, I tell you. After 6 months, you must consume the pepper and the salt. This also will be worshipped and given to you. Now, the right-handed variety of the conchas that are there also are available, and if you sponsor them, they will be given to you also as prasadam. If you want to participate in this puja, you can call 585 533 1970 and contact the temple for further details, or online you can do Sri Vidya SRIVIDYA one word .org/Rasi RASI Mandala 2023. This is the way you can participate in the puja. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aiya, for giving a detailed description of the Rasi Mandala Puja and exciting opportunities of participating for all of us who are interested. Please come out for this exciting event.